Take a look. Right, we got some questions from 66651. First one. If you suddenly grew to be 30,000 feet tall, explain how you might accidentally step on someone and what they'd see last when they looked up and how you noticed that you stepped on them. If you were 30,000 feet tall. Me personally, hello. If I was 30,000 tall, hello. 30,000 feet tall, what? I would love it, really, because that means I'd be really tall, and I could sit and I could just look down. But if I accidentally stepped on someone, to be honest, I'd cry. Number 2, what people you'd personally want to step on and how you'd step on them with your giant bare foot. Well, I could step on a lot of people, but I'll just name 3. Cameron Main Prize, I'd step on him so he could never get back up. I'd stamp his little head off. Who would you stamp? Who would you purposely want to step on? If I had the choice to step on someone, Jess Atkinson. And what they'd be thinking, what you'd be thinking when you were looking up at me, you'd be thinking, what are you doing? Right, anyway, next question. That's up to do for me. What people, you've just done that one. Would you stomp them completely flat into your giant footprint or grind them into the sole of your giant bare foot? I would grind them into the sole of my giant bare foot. What about you? I'd like to do it with the... I'd do it with a giant footprint because it'd crush them more. Right. Would you leave a giant footprint everywhere, and why and what would be smushed inside of those footprints and why? Inside my people. Inside people, wouldn't you? Inside my footprints would be the squash people that I just killed. Go on, number 5. What part of your foot would you squash them under and why? And explain what would be fun about stepping on them barefooted. I stamp on them with the heel of my foot because they're like little. You can squish them and you're just like, ooh. Yeah, and because they're bastards. I think I'd do the same with that. And what would be fun about them? No more arguing with the fuckers. How many people could you get in one stomp and explain what type of bug they'd remind you of stepping on and why and how you step on that type of bug? Let's pass that one. No. If I stood on them, it'd be like standing on a bee or a wasp because I absolutely hate them and you'd just be like, ooh, get in there. Yeah, absolutely. Would your giant barefoot cover their entire punny bodies and why? Also, would you high or low stomp on them and why? What? I'd high stomp on them. So you're so scared and it's like, ah! 7, 8. Would you say this? I'm gonna step on you with my giant barefoot and squash you like a bug in the sole of my barefoot and feel you're squished completely flat. No, I wouldn't say that. No, I'd say my giant foot is gonna stomp your little head off so you die, motherfucker. Next question. Also, explain how you'd step on me with your giant barefoot if you were really mad at me and what part of your foot I'd stick to and why. What I've got to do from another time. Right, I think that's enough of them questions. Right, last one. Also, demonstrate how you step on these tiny enemies. Well...
it'd be like. Well, I hope you got what you wanted there.